Welcome to Seoul Speech. Hello everybody, I'm Seoul Man. Today we are going to add another set of vocabularies to describe shapes and sizes, again using various parts of our body as examples. We are going to learn how to describe round and square shapes, wide and narrow, big and small, long and short, and also thick and slim. English adjectives have no concept of root words, unlike Korean. Korean adjectives or verbs have some form of root which can be used as a basis for other variations. This variation is different from what's called as a conjugation. Conjugations in English only happen with verbs. We will focus on describing adjectives with 은, 는, or 니은. All verbs end in 다 in the root form. All adjectives in 다 or 하다 in the root form. The 하다 tail words in root forms only used in adjectives. Here are some examples of root forms of adjectives. 좁다, 가늘다, 길다. 좁다 means narrow, 가늘다 means thin, 길다 means long. Let's learn how to use the variations of these root forms of adjectives. Let's first memorize this title, describing adjective with 은, 는, 니은. 은, 는, 니은. 좁은 means narrow, 가는 means thin, 긴 means long. Narrow, thin, long, 좁은, 가는, 긴 is becoming a describing adjective to the following noun. For example, 좁은 길 means narrow road. Since we already know quite a few nouns from our body, we will use them as examples with describing adjectives. Here we go. The first one is 둥글다. 둥글다. It's a root form ending with 다. It means round. 둥근 얼굴 means round face. Here we have a choice of 은, 는, and 니은, and we use 니은 to create an adjective 둥근 instead of 둥글는 얼굴 or 둥글은 얼굴. 둥근 얼굴 is easier to pronounce and natural. So to summarize, from a root word 둥글다, we use adjective form of 둥근 to describe something which is round. The counter concept of shape round is shape square. So the root word of square is 네모나다. 네모 actually means a shape with 4 right angles. Here again we have choices of 은, 는, and 니은 받침. Also we use 니은 받침 here, so 네모나 plus 니은 받침 becomes 네모난. So 네모난 means square or rectangular as an adjective. Therefore, 네모난 얼굴 means square face. The SpongeBob. The root word in Hangul describing English big is 크다. 크다. From 3 choices of 은, 는, 니은 for adjective, we use 니은 again to create 큰 as an adjective big. So 큰 눈 means big eye or big eyes. The counter word for big is of course small. So small for Hangul is 작다. 작다. 작다 is a root word, and we have 3 choices of 은, 는, and 니은. Here we are using 은 instead of 는 or 니은 because you really cannot pronounce it easily with the 작는. 작는 is difficult to pronounce. 작은. 작은 is smooth and easier, and you cannot have 기억 and 니은 at the same time, so 니은 is out of choice. So naturally, it's 작은. 작은 발 means small foot or small feet. Here is one tip to pronounce Hangul more like natives. Of course, you can say 작은 발, standard and correct. However, when you say 작은 in real conversation, you typically say it as 작은. 작은. It's almost like a 작은 because this 기억 받침 is transferred to the next word 은, and 은 character begins with 자음 이응. In this case, 자음 이응 is just a placeholder. So 기억 is transferred to the next character and replace 이응 with 기억. It is called as 연음 법칙 in Hangul grammar. You don't need to remember that, but it's translated as continuous sounding rule, liaison, or linking rule. Next one is for long. The root word in Hangul for long is 길다, 길다. For this one, we use 니은, and describing adjective becomes 긴, 긴. So long nose is 긴 코, 긴 코. English word for describing elephant's nose, the long nose, is trunk. But in Hangul, there's no separate word for it, and they just call it 코 as well. Long is 길다, so long legs are 긴 다리, 긴 다리. But there's a better way of saying slim or sleek, especially legs or waist, is 날씬하다, 날씬하다, which means slim or sleek with a beautiful shape. Slim legs would be 날씬한 다리, 날씬한 다리. As a describing adjective for root 날씬하다, we use 니은 here, so 날씬한, 날씬한 다리. Here is one funny Hangul slang. In Korea, they say 롱다리. 롱다리 is a hybrid of English long with Hangul 다리. You can use it as a joke. This is a Konglish or broken English, but I would avoid it in formal conversation. When you say that she has long legs or 긴 다리 or 날씬한 다리, it generally means a compliment. The word 날씬하다 for slim can be also used for waist. So slim waist is 날씬한 허리, 날씬한 허리. Another term for saying slim is 가늘다, 가늘다. 가늘다 is typically used for anything long and thin, such as chopstick, needles, hair, or pipe. It can be also used for describing human body, such as waist. So you can say 가는 허리 for slim waist or thin waist as well. The English word thin is more suitable when describing something like paper, book, thin book, thick book, while the word slim is for describing body parts. So when you say somebody has a slim waist, it is suggested to use 날씬한 허리, which implies a compliment. In the meantime, the 가늘다 does not involve any kind of subjective opinion or compliment. It simply means it's slim or thin, whether it is part of human body or general object. The English word skinny generally conveys the meaning that it is beyond slim and sometimes to the level of not healthy by losing too much weight. So there is a matching word for that in Hangul, which is 말랐다, 말랐다. In order to say skinny body in Hangul, you would say 마른 몸, 마른 몸. But please use this with care in front of other people. The opposite word for long is short, of course. So short in Hangul is 짧다, 짧다. Here we are seeing a new form of Batchim with real beep. we have never seen before. So there are a few of them, and this is the first one, real 비읍. Its correct pronunciation is 짧다, 짧다. Or you can simply say 짧다, 짧다. We have learned that there are three main describing adjective forms with the 는, 은, and 니은. And this one uses 은, so 짧은, not 짧는, which is hard to pronounce. So short legs or short leg is 짧은 다리, 짧은 다리. 은 is beginning with 이응, and when a Hangul character begins with 이응, it acts as a silence. So in this case, the 연음 법칙 continuous sounding rule applies. 짧은 is more like 짧은. So when you pronounce this from slow speed, middle speed to the fast speed, it becomes like this one. 짧은, 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 짧은. In Hangul, these double 자음, double consonants with two different 자음, real and 비읍 in this case, are always used as Batchim only. It never comes at the beginning of a character. So in 짧은, 쌍지읒 is a twin jaum with the same 지읒, sticky sound, can come at the beginning of a character, but real 비읍 is not a twin. It's different, real and 비읍, so it only can come as a Batchim at the bottom of a character. In Seoul speech curriculum, this 짧 character is classified as type 3 with 자 and Batchim real 비읍. Here is a second example of using Batchim real 비읍. English word wide in Korean is 넓다, 넓다. In this case, we also use 은 as a describing adjective. So 넓은, 넓은 어깨 means wide shoulders. Here, the continuous sounding rule or linking rule applies also. So 넓은 어깨 should be a natural way of pronouncing this one instead of 넓은 어깨. It's very hard to pronounce. 넓은 어깨, wide shoulders. The opposite word for English wide is narrow. Hangul for narrow is 좁다, 좁다. Since 좁다 is a root word, we need to use either 는, 은, and 니은 to make it as a describing adjective. So 좁은 어깨, we use 은 for the 좁다. So 좁은 어깨 means narrow shoulders. The word 좁다 can mean two things in Hangul. One is narrow, another one is have no space or very little space. Typically used to describe a small room or small closed space. The opposite word for thin or slim is English thick. For that, we have a Hangul word 굵다, 굵다. Here we introduce the second double vowel with a different 자음, real 기역, real 기역. So with this real 기역 받침, it sounds as 굵다, 굵다, not 굵다. But you can also say 굵다 without real sound. 굵다 is fine. To create a describing adjective, we have to use either 는, 은, or 니은. Here, we need to use 은, so it becomes 굵은, 굵은. 굵은 팔 means thick arm. Because 은 is beginning with 이응, here again, the 연음 법칙 or continuous sounding rule apply. So it is read as 굵은, 굵은, instead of 굵은, which is very hard to pronounce. Now, what do you use when you want to describe something or somebody gorgeous, beautiful, or stylish? There is a good word for that in Hangul. We say 멋지다, 멋지다. 멋 is a very unique word in Korean, which is very hard to translate in other languages. But you can think something cool, elegant, beautiful, stylish, which gives you a wow feeling. Mud is used also to describe some inner beauty or something implicit, which is natural, not cheesy or artificial. So the describing adjective for 멋지다 is 멋진 with 니은, 멋진. So you say 멋진 something, 멋진 somebody. Body shape or body style in Hangul is 몸매, 몸매. By combining these two words, gorgeous body style or gorgeous body shape would be 멋진 몸매, 멋진 몸매. You can also use it for other cases such as gorgeous legs can be 멋진 다리, 멋진 다리. Our trainer, the cat lady. When I say short English phrase first, the cat lady will say it in Hangul. You can repeat after her, one by one. Here we go. Big eyes.
큰 눈,
Small nose.
작은 코,
Thin neck.
가는 목,
Narrow shoulders.
좁은 어깨,
Slim waist.
멋진 날씬한 허리.
Huh? I don't disagree, but can we stick to the script, please?
날씬한 허리,
Long legs.
긴 다리.
Thanks, cat lady. That was perfect.